I'm very excited to be joined by Josh Burkhardt from Rekt E-Sports Bar in Austin. And man, I got to tell you, when Ralph first sent me this message, Josh, I wasn't, no, I'm not going to lie, I'm not even still 100% sure what an esports bar is. I hadn't heard of this before, man.
Well, it's just like a sports bar, except it's centered around video games instead of your standard ESPN bullshit.
Well, and I right now that might be very popular because with the ESPN bullshit, there's a lot of I imagine even if you're watching Five Nights at Freddy, some fucker probably stands for the national anthem. Unlike those fucking football players, man.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, and it's really funny because the CEO of ESPN, he hates esports, but there's no way he can turn a blind eye to all that money.
Well, no one can, because this is a thing. Now, I've got my radio partner, Serial. He is addicted to this thing called, like, I think it's called, like, Jack Sparrow Eye, or it's some guy.
Jacksepticeye.
Yeah. He talks like an Irish guy, and he's playing and he watches the damn YouTubes constantly, and I'm going to be honest, I don't get it. And I go, what are you're just watching a dude play a game, but it is huge. It is massive on the internet right now.
Well, I mean, you could make the same point about people who I just find it hilarious that the same people who make fun of people for watching somebody play like StarCraft or whatever, they're in the same breath, they're going to be making fun of them, go into the other room, and then sit down and watch football.
Well, and I'm not gonna lie, I will tell you, I'm one of those guys. They called me a roach in 7th, 8th grade, all the way through high school, because I am not an athletic individual. I did not participate in football. I'm a what they would call a skinny pussy boy, I think is what they would call me. And so I didn't do a lot of that. But then when I got to be older, I developed a gambling problem, and that made me really like football. Because it's easy to is there gambling in esports? Because I could probably really get into it if I could put some money on it.
I imagine there is. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on what side of the aisle you're looking at, I'm probably not going to be doing anything directly with that.
Yeah.
Just because there's a little bit of wariness that a business has to go into when it comes to.
Well, you shouldn't be running a gambling league, but I'm thinking like I think I might be more prone to walk into an esports bar if there's something online like a Bovada where I can throw some fucking money down on.
I'm sure there is. I've actually heard of a few different gambling outlets where you could wager on who's going to win. And actually, I've also heard that there was another kind of outlet which isn't, finger quotes here, but it's not technically gambling because you're wagering on yourself. It's basically,
that's like Pete Rose gambling. You bet on yourself to win. Okay.
No. It's you get somebody, like, say you walk into a bar, you throw a $5 bill down on the table in front of somebody, say, okay, put your $5 down. I bet I can beat you at darts.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that's just having confidence in yourself. That's what I think that is. So what are the okay, so you got this esports bar. Now, is it open? Is this going now, or is it still you're in the process?
We're still in the process of opening right now. I've got a few loose ends to tie up with the investors and all that other stuff, but the building right now is ready to go. We've got everything all lined up to go, and as soon as we get the check signed and over to the current owner, we're going to be ready to open. Like, there's going to be little to no turnaround time between it. We're just going to rename it and go from there.
You know who else owns where's it at in Austin? Where are you looking at opening this thing up?
We're looking like north central Austin. I can't give the direct location right now just because of
no worries. You're still under wraps. I know.
But it's going to be close to 183.
Well, I was going to tell you, there's another guy in the bar business in Austin. Have you ever seen the movie Rat Race?
No, actually, no.
Oh my God, Rat Race is like the greatest, man.
Oh, Rat Race. Okay, yeah.
With Seth Green and John Lovitz and Mr. Bean.
Now that you say that, it's like ringing some bells in the back of my head. It's like, wait a second.
There's a guy in that. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. There's a guy in that movie who had a tongue ring piercing the whole time, and he goes, "I the mom is in heaven," and da. He talked like that the whole movie.
The guy with the lisp because he got the piercing.
His name is Vince Valoof, and Vince Valoof. Not a lot of people know this guy. Vince Valoof had moved to Austin and opened up a bar. He's in the bar business in Austin now, and he seems like, yeah, you should hook up with Vince Valoof. He should be an investor, and you should get him going in the esports bar. That would be the shit, man, because that'd be like putting two of my favorite things together.
Real interesting. Although I think it'd be more likely to get Shaquille O'Neal interested because he's already part owner of a team.
What? He's part of? There's esports teams?
Yes, all sorts of. There's not just teams. There's leagues. There's organizations.
Wait, is Shaquille O'Neal the owner of an esports team? But do they play Shaq Fu?
Part owner, and unfortunately, Shaq Fu is no. You know, there was a Kickstarter for a revamped Shaq Fu. I don't know what the heck happened to it, but it looked hilarious.
I think there should be a new Shaq Fu. I think Shaq Fu should be like mandatory once a year. A new Shaq Fu game comes out. It was that great.
No. Please do not turn it into Madden.
Yeah, well, I've heard that if Trump wins, Shaq Fu is the required game of America now. It's what I've heard. Anyway, so okay, I do get this about watching the idea of watching someone play sports, and here's what I like about what you're doing. Because what I just bitch and moan about the people watching on YouTube because it seems antisocial. But I used to watch a thing. I used to watch this game that I did not play video games either. Because again, just like I am not athletic, there is a certain athleticism required to playing video games. It requires hand-eye coordination and a tremendous amount of it. And again, I am lacking in all things physical, so I'm not even good at video games. But my friend would always play Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation.
Yep.
And I loved this. Like I would watch it like a movie. We'd turn the lights out. I would watch him play Metal Gear Solid for 3-4 hours. And it had these little vignettes in it where it would like cut away from the game and it would introduce the next element of the game. It was the shit, man. I really enjoyed that.
The funny thing is, I've actually learned more about international nuclear treaties from Metal Gear Solid than I have from actual school.
That would make sense. It's a very complicated game. There's a lot going on.
And if you go in and actually listen to all of like the background conversations and everything, like it's actually talking about like the START treaties and nuclear proliferation and how like the Cold War and stuff like that. And you learn these things. And then if you actually take the time and be a nerdy little kid like I was and actually go and research the stuff, you figure out that holy crap, this is actually real what they're talking about.
Yeah, well, it's a hell of a game, man, and I really enjoyed watching it. And what I like about what you're doing is you're like combining like the watching of the video games, but adding what I think is missing when people are like watching it in their like homes, which is a social element. Because again,
the whole social aspect to it, like it's not that these people don't want to watch these games in groups. It's just that they don't have any place that's catering to them right now. If you want to go watch like the UT game, or if you want to watch the Cowboys or the Eagles or whatever, you just go to a sports bar and then you're likely to find a big group of people that share your same interests. And where do you go if you want to watch like the Evo or the Street Fighter championships? Like, you don't know if there's a place. You have to like maybe search on Facebook and hope you get lucky.
Yeah, well, maybe Twitch. Isn't that a thing people do? Is that where people go to see some of this, on Twitch?
Well, yeah, on Twitch. But that's the it lacks the social aspect because you're just going to be sitting in your living room or at your desk and you're just going to be watching it at home.
By the way, you're so right about the social thing, because what I've realized too is like there is a thing like, okay, so and you don't have to tell me, but I'll start so if you're comfortable, you'll tell me. I am 32 years old. So as a 32-year-old, I remember when it was not cool, like Comic Cons weren't cool. Being into comic books was not cool. Like I went to a Comic Con in College Station like in 2001, and it was very sparsely attended. It was not a fucking cool thing to go to. How old are you?
I'm 28 right now. I actually turned 29 in November.
So you're not that I mean, you're behind me. You're not over the hump
that
yet.
far, though.
But you remember when it wasn't cool to be into Comic Cons?
Oh, yeah, of course. It's like, when you hear about it, it's like, in the back of your mind, you're just screaming, oh my God, that looks so cool. I want to go. And then in the front of your mind, you're just like, no, guys, don't worry about that. Yeah, football.
Yeah, but now it's like cool. Now there's like hot chicks that are like gamers, man, like in cosplay. It's like, I can just imagine going to an esports bar and here's hot chicks and like cosplay and you're hanging out. And if you're a dude like, 23 and into Street Fighter and you don't know how to relate to if you're not going to get laid in your room watching YouTube, but if you go out to an esports bar, next thing you know, you're hooking up with some chick dressed as, Sonya Blade and you're going to towns.
Maybe I'm not saying it won't happen.
I'm thinking it's almost a definite. And I don't even know what happens. Like, I don't know if cosplay chicks are really like down for the count, but every time I've met one, I've thought, oh yeah, if I were, 10 years ago and I was here, this would be a much different situation. That's what I often think.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful to follow the rules at the con because it's look but don't touch.
Oh, is that a rule?
Oh yeah, they will throw your ass out.
Oh, it's like strip club rules.
Kinda, but it's more just like don't come up and just randomly grab this girl's ass just because she's wearing a cool costume.
That does seem like, in general, seems like a bad idea. I would argue in all of life, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, in all of life, all walks of life, I can't believe I actually have to tell people that this is a thing. Like, don't do that. Like, this is the public service announcement for your life. Do not be a creepy asshole and do that.
Yeah, that's just like the worst. So what games are what are the games that are the best to watch? If I'm going to sample esports and I haven't done it before, I'm going to go to your bar for the first time. What's the shit that I want to check out?
Well, it all depends on what you like. If you like watching team sports, you're going to want to go either Dota 2 or League of Legends. They've got really good casters that explain everything that's going on, even though with the big fights that go on, it's just huge eruptions of explosions and all sorts of crazy shit going on. You won't have a clue what's going on if you don't know anything about the game, but it all looks impressive. If you like watching MMA or anything like that, anything from the fighting game community, Street Fighter is always a classic to go to. But there's also, I know Marvel vs. Capcom still has a big following going. Well, Marvel vs. Capcom.
Is that? I like the one where they have where Joker and Batman beat the shit out of each other. What is that game?
Injustice. Oh,
that's a good game. I do like watching that game.
I think that still has a bit of a following. I'm not sure, though. Super Smash Brothers always is going strong. Like, there's no way that one's going to die out.
Now, there are people that are professionals at this, right? They get paid to do this?
Oh, yeah. Like, the Dota 2 internationals had a $20 million prize pot, I believe.
Hold on a second. What the fuck did he do? $20 million to win a game?
Well, no, it wasn't. It was divided between the top 5, but.
Okay, I'm sorry. $4 million to win a game.
Yeah.
Anything over $1 million is impressive as shit, man.
Oh, yeah. And you want to know what's even more impressive?
What's that?
All of the money was donated by players around the world.
So wait, this was crowdsourced? This was crowdfunded winnings?
Yeah, they have these little items you can buy in game, and usually it does nothing more than make your character look pretty. But people buy it in game because they want to donate to the prize pool, because bigger prize pool means more exciting and people are playing a little bit harder to win. But it's pretty ridiculous.
Well, I did realize that. So one of the things we do with the podcast is we go to different events, but we're big believers in, I like to, it's like I'm a guy, I consider myself, I don't mean to be, but I'm like a pariah of life. which means like no matter where I go, I don't necessarily fit in, no matter where. So like you probably have like a group of people that you fit in with the video game community, or if you fit in with the comic book community, or you fit in with the vape community, or the whatever. I go to all these places.
There's actually a vape community.
There is a fucking, and by the way, they're really cool people because I went to a vape community. I went to the vaping. I'm
not saying anything about their personalities. I'm just saying I didn't know that was a thing. It
is a thing. I went to a vaping convention. And then not only do they have a vaping convention, they have a World League vaping competition where they try to, like, cloud chasing competition. They try to blow the biggest clouds. They have there's professional cloud chasers, dude. This is like in everything of life. But no matter where I go, I'm like an outsider looking in. I've never found but I always love everyone. I love everyone. And everywhere I go, I notice that there is like this whole underlying competition, community, professionals who get paid to do these things. And I go, where the fuck did I miss? Like, I need to just dedicate myself to really learning how to do a thing and do it well. Like, it really is. If you learn how to do a thing well, it doesn't matter what that thing is. You can do that and make a living at that thing.
You know what Joker said? If you're good at something, never do it for free.
That's the fucking lesson I never learned in life, Josh. I do a lot of shit for free, man. I do a lot of shit for free.
It gets you favors in the long run.
Maybe. But you know what it does give me? It gives me a lot of cool people to hang out with and talk with. And by the way, the vape community is I didn't even know it was a real thing. And I found out this year when I went to a vaping convention. And I went in Rome, you dive down. I was in for like a week. I was in a vaping wormhole, but I got out of it. I haven't. It's very addictive. You ever tried vaping?
It's smelling a little different.
Everything smells like syrup. Everything smells very syrupy.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, Canada, indeed. So do you have a community? I mean, do you have a people that you just vibe with? Like, I'm assuming video game people, you just connect with them.
I'm a bit of the drifter myself. I won't say pariah because none of them have actually chased me out. I've actually behaved myself when going to these things, but usually I'm pretty much attached to every single video game community out there. And one of the big things I'm trying to do at the bar is to get everybody in there and show everybody that, hey, we've got a little bit of something for everyone. Like, we've got something for the MOBA players. We've got something for the fighting game community. We've got something for the Smash Brothers community because they don't really mesh well with the fighting game community.
Okay, so this is interesting. This is what I call monkey shit. Which means, like, because we are. Do you ever listen to this guy Joe Rogan? He's a comedian.
Yeah, I listen to him.
Joe Rogan talks a lot about how, like, we're essentially in a giant beehive, but we pretend like we're not. We're animals. We're biological, but we like to pretend like we're elevated. And I call it monkey shit because no matter what there is, you find that people like to divide into communities and then go against this other community. Very much like these monkeys will live in this tribe, and then they come over and then they beat the shit out of the other monkeys that try to come into their world.
That's kind of right in the fact that there's a little bit of division among everybody, but I don't think anybody in each of the different video game communities, they're only divided because, hey, I like to play this game. Most people in the other communities are just going to be like, okay, that's cool. That's not my thing, but I'm going to go over here and do this. You do you.
You seem to insinuate that Smash Brothers versus fighting game guys was a bit more intense. That's what I got from that.
Oh, no. I didn't mean to insinuate that at all. I just mean that, like, the Smash community has its own kind of thing because Smash plays a little different than most other fighting games. But that community just tends to segregate itself off a little bit, and there's not as much intermeshing between the two.
You know what? I did occasionally play the fighting game. My favorite of all the fighting games, which I guess, I don't know if it's cool or not, but I loved Mortal Kombat. And I don't like the new Tekken-looking 3D animated Mortal Kombat. I like the Mortal Kombat where they like video capped like real people. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, the 2D sprites of the Mortal Kombat.
My God, I'm going to tell you right now, here's what I miss in video games. I miss side scroll and video cap or whatever it is. I miss where they put real people in, but they looked all fucking not that great. Yes. I miss that shit. And I would play these games And I would play the fighting games because I occasionally could win a fighting game. But the way I would win it would make everyone mad because I would be like Baraka and I would get you in like corner and I would just like punch. Oh, so
if you were to play Street Fighter, you'd be the one picking E Honda and just doing the hand slap and slowly inching forward.
Oh my God! If I could figure out how to do one move, I would do that move forever. And then, but if you catch somebody, it's like a wormhole. If you catch them and you time it right, and you just keep doing that, that person is fucked. I mean, that works. It works.
Most games have kind of tried to counter around that.
Well, it's been a very long time since I played a fighting game. Again, I have no coordination because now you have to use the damn. Here's when I checked out of video games. They introduced the little thing at the bottom where you had to like the mini little bitty joystick. You know what I'm talking about? And now everything's 360 with the mini joystick. I checked out then. That's when I checked. I couldn't do it. I couldn't figure out the mini joystick in the 360 worlds.
Mini joystick?
Like on, what did they have it? Like the little bitty thing, you would move your thumb and you would make it move circles. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It
was like on an N64 was the first one to have it, I think.
That's the controller I'm thinking of. Like every other console has like a joystick with another that just fits in your hands where you can touch all the buttons without.
Oh, they have double. Now they have double joystick. Holy shit, I'm dating myself. They have double joysticks now, don't they? Where you have like both of them. That's even more complicated. Now you have to rotate two thumbs. It's almost like where you pat your head and rub your belly.
It's not that bad. Seems very difficult.
I'm not good at things. I'm good at checkers. And I really like playing Candyland with my daughter. I'm the boss of Chutes and Ladders. Okay. I will fuck someone up at a Chutes and Ladders. But if you introduce multiple joysticks, I like Atari because they had a joystick that I could grab it with my whole hand.
I'll tell you one thing, I'm so bad at board games that I'll start off playing Chutes and Ladders and somehow end up playing backgammon.
Okay, it's good to know that, so maybe I'm like the kick-ass fucking board game guy.
Maybe.
Like I'm the kick-ass board game guy, you're the kick-ass video game guy, everybody's got to have something, right?
Everybody's got to have a little bit of something.
I would Chutes and Ladders your dick off. That's what I would do, Josh. I'm telling you right now. You would be like, holy shit, what just happened?
Please don't. It's attached.
I want to tell. So, are you still? What can people do? Is there anything people can do to help get this esports bar off the ground, or is it still? What can we do to help promote it or get it out there or whatever?
Well, right now, just getting the word out, it really helps. If as I said right now, all we really need to do is just finalize some things with the investors, and we should be. I'm hoping to have it open before the end of the year, and it's going to be a long road if we're not. But right now, I've got the investors are really interested, and even if we're not open, I'm planning on hosting some events for the League of Legends World Championships and also the E-League World Championships
awesome.
For Counter-Strike. And hopefully we can get some community engagement going through those events. And if we can show the finals, that would be just fantastic.
So where can people find out more?
Right now, everything that I have going on is going to be going through the Facebook page for Rekt E-Sports Bar.
And that's facebook.com/Rekt Bar. That's REKT Bar, right?
Yes.
Good deal, man. Josh, you are on to a cool thing. I'm hoping I wasn't too ignorant about this stuff. Like I do know about it, but I just kind of I'm not as good at it. I suck at playing the video games.
Hey, don't worry about it. Everybody starts somewhere.
But here's what I would do. I would go to an esports bar and I would watch the shit out of a fighting tournament.
Oh man. As long as you're buying drinks and food, I'm fine.
There you go. So there you go.
Just don't make me toss you out.
That's it. Are you a big guy?
Pretty big.
Oh, have you ever been in a fist fight?
A few.
Really? I've only been in one in my life. I was in 3rd grade. I punched a bully named Nicky in the face and I ran away so fast. Have you ever won a fight?
A few.
Holy shit! You must be like a real fighting guy. When was the last time you were in a fight?
The last time I was in a fight? Oh man, it's been a long time.
Yeah, what's a long time though? I bet since
like
third grade.
I've mellowed out since then.
When was the last? Come on, give me a guess. When was the last time? Were you over 18?
Yes.
Man, was it in a bar?
No, I think it was freshman year of college.
Freshman year of college. And did you win?
Yeah.
How do you win a fight? The other guy just stops fighting you? Or do you kill the other guy? How do you win a fight?
Nowadays it usually just ends when people come and try and break you up.
I gotcha. Okay. Is that how that one ended?
Yeah.
And so whoever is the guy on top of the other guy punching, when it gets broken up, that's the winner, right?
Oh man. It's that sometimes that not going to give any personal information there,
I say good for you, man. I say good for you. I'm afraid to punch a person because I think it would hurt my knuckles. You know, I think it would be painful to put my knuckles on someone's bones. That seems against that.
Put your bones on their bones, and then you have a bone on bone situation.
That is, nobody wants a
then
nobody wants a bone on bone situation. I don't think. All right, check him out. Facebook.com/Rekt Bar. That's REKT Bar. It is Josh Burkhardt launching something huge in Austin, an esports bar. Very, very cool. And not only that, we learned two things tonight. It is inappropriate in all circumstances to grab random people's buttocks, and bone on bone action is always a bad idea. I think that's what we learned tonight.
Yeah, rough guess.
Josh, was this everything you hoped it would be and more?
It's getting up there. It's glorious.
I love it. Give it a 1 to 10. What do you give this? How do we rank on podcast interviews?
I'd say an 8.